Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Outside, the Art and Science of Watch Collection. Today I wanted to talk about entry-level Patek Philippe watches, and it turned out to be a little tougher than I thought. One of the things about Patek Philippe is that their watches maintain their price. Okay, in other words, if you buy a Patek Philippe, you can turn around and sell it for pretty close to the same amount. I have an older Patek Philippe, and I'll talk about them in a second. This is a 3468, the reference number. Patek Philippe owners, like a lot of owners in certain groups, are big on reference numbers. you know, I'm not, but that's okay. All right, so let's start off. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to start off with the very lowest prices that I could find for new Patek Philippe. And there's not a lot. I remember when we talked about entry level FP Journe, the used bottom level was $20,000. These are a little better than that, but not for new ones. It's very hard to get it. You can't get it. Well, you can, but not by much. Okay, so let's start off. The first one and the lowest price is a manual wind Calatrava. Now, like I said, this is a Calatrava, and they've been around for a long time, and they're just sort of real simple, nice, classic dress watches. The problem, at least I was told, with the Calatrava is that they're, you don't want to wear them anywhere where they may get banged around or anything. And perhaps I've been more careful than I should be. That's another story because I do enjoy wearing it. It's a nice little watch. Okay, this one is 37 millimeters, which is probably not a bad size. Actually, 37 is, I think, it has a better range of people who can wear a 37 millimeter. Guys can anyway, and everything be okay. The movement is the caliber 215 PS. It's a 4 hertz and it's 44 hours. It has 5 bridges, and I love bridges. Ever since I began learning how to work with watchmaking, when you take stuff apart, the more bridges the better, because that means there are less gears that have to fit into those little ruby holes that are pivot points that they have. So it's there's really nothing about it that is especially a wow factor. They have instead of, they used to have the Geneva seal. They don't. They had some falling out with the Geneva seal people, and so they decided to put their own seal on there, which is like, it's got our seal of approval, which I always thought was sort of that was really funny. They don't have a exhibition window in the back, which is a shame because it's really a beautiful movement. It really is. I mean, if you got some crummy looking movement, that's one thing, but boy, that's a very pretty movement. They don't have the exhibition window. One of the things that you could get without an exhibition window is you can get a little thinner. Your watch will be a little thinner. This one is really thin, and it has no exhibition window. Okay, so that thing is the bottom price, 20,070 at your local AD. Now, you can find the same watch. I found this one exactly the same number and everything, for 16,800. And so you get about about 3,000, a little over $3,000 in savings, and this is from Joma's shop. Now, a lot of people, they don't want to buy from a secondary market source because they say, and this is true, you don't have the same kind of warranty and everything else that you get. You want the $3,000 savings, then if it's worth it to you, it's worth it. I once got a watch from here and saved $10,000 on it, brand new, and it's been great ever since. So, that's one of the things you can do, right? There's a difference between saving 3,000 and 10,000 now. Okay, now the next lowest that I could find turns out to be my favorite, and which was nice. And this is the Gondolo. This particular Gondolo, the 5141J, there's another one that has a different dial on it that I really like, but it's the same movement and everything. And the thing I like about it is that if you like the Gondolo shape, which I happen to, the the what happened was that they changed from a round movement. They just put one sort of off the shelf round movement in one of their older gondolas, and I'm not sure exact date on that. But if you look at the gondolas that they have available on the pre-owned market, or you go to someplace like Chrono 24, for example, it's important to see what's in the back. Now, a lot of the other gondolas they have a closed back, but this one has this very nice movement. It's a beautiful movement, I think. Another one, lots of bridges, was, and anyway, so this is another one to consider, and 23,700. It's about, well, roughly about $3,000 more than the entry level Calatrava. Okay, now all of these are in gold. That we're looking at either. I think I have yellow or rose or white gold, but they're all gold. Okay, now on the secondary market, here you have the same watch for $17,995. Well, $18,000 down from almost 24. Now you're talking, you got about a $5,000 drop there, and so that's again one of those things. A lot of people, they don't want to do that. They want to go to the AD. They want to pay the extra $5,000. That's fine. Me, I go there. I have come so close to buying, actually not this watch, but another one that is the same movement, the same shape and everything, just a different dial on it. But like I said, this is one I like. But that's a whole lot of money. I can think of so many different other watches I'd probably get before I get a Patek Philippe. But I've got a Patek Philippe, and I know what it's like. If you want one, you want one. That's that's it. Now, what I did is that I thought, well, I'm going to go and take a look at the used market and see what I can find in terms of entry level kind of things, the lowest possible. But you got to be careful here. There are a lot of places where it'd be very dicey, I think, buying certain things from. And so I thought, well, I'll go out and I'll try to find something from the 2000s. Well, that turned out to be a little trickier than I thought. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to find one that I like the looks of and it's not too small. And what I came across was this Calatrava 3537 for right around 7,000. Now it's 34 millimeters, which I know is a tad small. And this one, I've got a 7.5-inch wrist, and this one isn't big, but it's a tad small on you. So if you don't mind that, or if you like it, a lot of people don't like these big fat watches, but that's about $7,000, and that sounds about right. When I bought this one, I had to I had to get a Patek Philippe buckle, and I had to get a Patek Philippe strap. It came with neither, and the guy I bought it from told me that, so I felt okay about it. And it was a good price, but it had no papers, no nothing. And the thing that I like about Patek Philippe, it'll cost you about $125, but you can send in and give them all of the information about your watch, and they will send you everything that the papers have, if not more. And so I did that, and it's really a very comforting thing to have the papers and know all about your watch. These older ones, though, this is from 1968. I'm a little nervous about those. I sort of like everything 2000 or later, but the hard sometimes to find exactly what you want. So if you search and you look, you can find something probably around $5,000-6,000. I think that it depends. You can get lucky sometime. Also, too, these are unnegotiated prices, and I negotiate on everything, and you should too. Okay, I don't think the ADs they don't negotiate. Okay, here's a sort of an unusual shape, more of a tornado shape than it's I guess your gondolas they're more of a rectangular shape, I think, and this one's more of a tornado. Um, the 3842, it was a little different. It's an older one. It's almost $8,000. But when you look at these things, they're pretty pricey. Now, a lot of people, as a matter of fact, their Grail watch is a Nautilus or an Aquanaut. Man, I thought, well, I'm going to find some really good prices. There aren't any good prices on those things. They were starting, I think, around $27,000 for a stainless steel watch, which is okay. I think you can probably find a sports watch that is at least as good, if not better than that, for that price. But people are buying the name as much as anything else. I know I certainly did. All right, finally, I found one. Now, this year they had something like the 50th anniversary or 60th anniversary of the Ellipse. The Ellipse was one that wasn't very popular, but their initial price is more expensive than either the Calatrava or the Gondolo. And so oh boy, but then I found this one. This is a nice looking one for $4,000. But then it was for a ladies version. So, thinking about that might be, if you're a woman, you say, this might be a really good buy. In fact, it's a very nice buy. Or if you're looking for a gift for a woman, and who's into watches, or you want to extend your collection by getting your lady friend a nice watch like that. Okay, well, this is sort of the entry level for Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe is the one I have. This thing it keeps perfect time. This one, the one I have, runs at 3 hertz. The other ones I think I was showing, I think, are 4 hertz. And they're just very well made watches. They have the process is good. They're starting to increase their volume, and I do prefer the certain other kinds of watches that are very good watches. I mean, really excellent watches. But these are certainly among the best, and they're recognized as such. I don't know if if you buy one, you take care of it for the next generation, like their ad says. But anyway, okay. Well, I'd like to hear your opinion, what you think, and your comments are very important to me. And also, too, this is an opportunity to subscribe if you'd like. And until next Friday, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Outside, the Art and Science of Watch Collection.